morning, family. Tasha, Mom Bear Prepping. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. You already know what time it is. Get your drink and pull up. We're going to talk about something very, very important today, and that is water. So, those of you that have been watching me for a while, you already know water is your girl's pet peeve, right? Water, 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 water. A lot of people ask me, hey, how do I start prepping? What do I start with? Water and food is what you start with, okay? Now, water is even more important because, one, you need to have water in your home in general for any kind of emergency crisis so that you're ready to go, and that's not such a burden on your family when some sort of emergency crisis happens, okay? But today, I want to go over 5 reasons why you should be storing water today in your home. And when I say storing water, I'm not talking about getting a couple cases of water and having extra water like that in your home. I'm talking actually getting water containers and filling those containers in your home and keeping them in your home, okay? Yes, you can get additional cases of water, gallon waters, basically any way you can get it in your home, please do. Rain catchments if you happen to live somewhere where it rains. We do not. We're in Southern California. It never rains, so that's not an option. But if it was, you better bet your ass I'd be, getting my water and collecting that rainwater, okay? So there is 5 reasons, and this is what I'm going to just go through with you really quick. So in the 1930s, we built Lake Mead, all of those water structures, if you were made, right? So you have like the Hoover Dam, you have Lake Mead. Now you can Google today Lake Mead, how it looked in the 1930s when it was built to what it looks like now. And it is drastically lower, okay? It is not being refilled as much as it's being taken from. You have the Hoover Dam as well. Levels are much lower. You have several very big time lakes, if you will, that are, because of our drought right now and our situation with these ways that we get our water, the ways that California specifically, a lot of California gets their water from these sources, okay? And these sources are being depleted, okay? So you can Google, you can do your own research, but the number one reason why you need to store water is because our options are being depleted, okay? Just Google Lake Mead alone, and it will show you side-by-side pictures of how it's looking today, okay? Number 2 is chlorine shortages. So if you haven't heard yet, Washington literally is going through a concern of low chlorine, okay? A shortage in chlorine, which is needed for them to treat the water that they give to the public, okay? Chlorine is a very big deal. If you've been prepping for a while, you understand we prep chlorine and stuff like that to be able to treat water should we need to, okay? Now, some of these filters will really help you out with situations like this, but this is super dangerous if a town or a state has to start saying, hey, you've got to boil water or whatever the case may be, because they don't have a certain product that is needed to treat water or whatever in the process of treating water that they do, okay? So that is a very, very big deal. If you live in Washington, if you live anywhere near Oak Harbor area, you should be stacking water right now like crazy before it gets worse in any kind of way and then the panic buying starts, okay? So you should start stacking your water. If you've been watching me for a while, though, you know that water, I don't play around. You should have been stacking that from a while ago, okay? Number 3 is water regulations. So just basic limiting is happening already. When you have a drought, when you have things that are going on, you have, you'll start having regulations put on by the city or the state, even if it gets that bad, on, hey, only water your grass from this time to this time. There's places right now that are getting regulations, though, saying to regulate the water that is used outside, meaning no more water outside and only use your water inside to get clean and drink and all that good stuff. Now, That's a problem for anybody that is growing anything outside. If they're saying to limit your use outside, okay? And that could lead to all types of chaos and other things, you know, when you tell people, hey, you can't water stuff outside, and then you have neighbors and stuff telling on people, you know, oh, you're using water, it's going to get turned off because, you know, so it's a lot of drama that can happen with that, okay? So start getting smart with your water. If you have plants outside, start keeping water, okay? If you collect rainwater in different old buckets and different things like that, continue to do that, and keep them somewhere safe. Maybe not keeping them just out where everybody can see them. And then maybe watering stuff when people aren't really paying attention, maybe in the evening times. But regulations are going to happen, and they're already happening now in certain states, okay? Number 4 is cyber attacks. So you already know cyber attacks have been happening on all types of different entities and companies. And it's just a matter of time, I believe, before we start seeing cyber attacks on our infrastructure. Now, directly resulting in water, there was already a plant in Northern California that was not, of course, put out by the media, that was already a cyber attack before the Florida water cyber attack. I don't know if you remember the Florida one, but a guy broke in to the system and had jacked up all the levels of the water purification system. And but obviously a worker had caught it that, hey, something is off, something, the levels have been, you know, manipulated, and they caught it. But that happened before that in California, in Northern California. So you guys just need to be very, very safe, because at any point, you know, these hackers are just getting more bold, and they're just doing, you know, more stuff. Every day it's something, okay? And so they've already tried a couple times with the water. You know, it's just a matter of time before people are successful, and then it becomes a very dangerous situation. And what happens if somebody doesn't catch it, and we actually start drinking this water, okay? So just, you've got to be head on a swivel, paying attention. And then the last one I have is just extreme drought. I mentioned it already several times in this video. Extreme drought and heat. Those, it's almost like drought versus heat, okay, right? So you have drought where you have regulated water, you have way less water to work with, you don't have water coming in at all, right? It's very, very hot, right? You have farmers that can't grow food, you know, it's a bad situation. But then you versus that by the people, right? The heat that is coming, that is going to be here this summer, that is already here in many states. I mean, parts of California, Arizona, 118, 115 days already, and we're not even in the meat of it, right? And so what happens, right? You drink more water, you need more water, the animals need more water, you need more water, your plants need more water. And so now you have this, you know, back and forth with, you've got the drought where we don't even really have that much water, and now you have the heat where we're needing and requiring more water. So that's a whole battle with that. So that's my 5 reasons why you need to start storing water now. And by storing, go to Amazon, go wherever, start getting your plastic water containers. If you just put in the search water containers, a ton of them will come up. They have them from 3 gallons, 3.5 gallons, up to 5 gallons. And then of course they have much larger options past that. You know, you can get the large 30 gallon, 50 gallon, 55 gallon drums. I mean, there's a ton of options depending on where you live. But right now we're in an apartment, and I'm just here to tell you that a lot of people don't do this because they don't think they can do it in an apartment. And I'm here to tell you, you absolutely can. You just have to get the smaller options, the 3.5 gallon water bricks or some 5 gallon containers, fill them up, find your holes in your house, find your holes in your closets, and fill them, okay? And just start stacking that water, because you're gonna be so thankful when, hey, you're being told you can't use the water, or you're being told something's been hacked now and it's bad, right? And then now you have a run on the stores for panic buying of water, okay? Right now, last year we had a run on water. It's great right now. There's tons of water at the store, so you have plenty of time to be able to go get some water before any kind of panic happens. Because I'm telling you, the first major cyber attack where it gets through, where people are being told to boil water, People are lazy and they're not going to want to do that. And what their first instinct is going to be before it's, okay, I'm going to boil the water and how do I learn how to treat water? No, their first instinct is going to be to make a run on the stores and get as much water as they can, because the people are lazy. They don't want to learn the process and doing stuff. Yes, of course they'll boil water if that's the only option, but that's not going to be the first thing that the average American is going to run out and do. They're going to run to the stinking store and clean it out first. And then when they're forced to figure out how to filter and purify water, then they'll try to get on board with that. Okay? But by then, is there even water? I mean, any of these things all coupled together, it's just horrible. It's not a very good situation. And water is probably one of my biggest fears, you guys, is being without water. As a prepper, that's probably one of my biggest fears. Okay? So let me know in the comments below what you guys are thinking about this current water situation, any of the things that I mentioned, what's going on in your area. If any of these things are affecting you right now, let us know, okay? The more information we know, the better. I get sent articles and information all the time. That's actually how I found out about the Washington chlorine shortage. Is one of my friends sent me the information, okay? So I'll see you guys next time. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you're working on. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.